The very first step to factoring and solving is to move all the terms to one side of the equation. So I'm going to move this 5x to the other side. So I'll have 2x squared minus 5x equals 0. So that's step one. We just move everything to one side. Now I'm going to factor. What can both of these terms be divided by? X. So x will go on the outside. What is remaining is 2x and a minus 5. Now we're going to set each factor equal to 0, and then we're going to solve it. So I have x equals 0, and I have 2x minus 5 equals 0. You're setting them both equal to 0, and then we're going to solve. Okay, so the first one is already solved for you. One answer is going to be x equals 0. The other one we're going to have to solve. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. I get 2x is 5. Then you're going to divide both sides by 2. So those are your answers. We're going to write our answers as a solution set. So I'll put 0, 5 halves. Those are your two x values. X equals those two values. Let's try another example. So I'm going to move this x squared to the other side. So I'm going to have 2x squared. Move the x squared to the other side, it'll become a minus x squared. Minus 50. We're going to move this negative 1 to the other side, making it a positive 1. Now we're going to combine like terms. These can combine. 2 minus 1 is just 1, so this will be x squared. Minus 50 plus 1, this will be a minus 49. Now this looks like a difference of squares. I can take the square root of this and the square root of this. So I'll have x minus 7 and x plus 7 equals 0. Now, you're going to, that was step number 2, was factor. We just factored it. Step number 3, we're going to set each factor equal to 0 and solve for the x value. So I have x minus 7 equal to 0 and x plus 7 equal to 0. And you just solve. So I'll get x is 7 for this one, and I'll get x is negative 7 for this one. So my solution is the x values are negative 7 and 7. That is how you write your answer as a solution set. Let's try another example. This one's easy. You can just go straight to an eye chart. I need two numbers that multiply to 21, add to negative 10. Good. So this will be x minus 7 times x minus 3. You set this one equal to 0, and you set this factor equal to 0. And then you solve. Add 7, you get x is 7. Add 3, you get x is 3. So your solution set is 3 and 7. I like to put my solutions in order from least to greatest. Okay, so we're going to first divide all of these by 2. So 2 will stay on the outside. That is a part of your answer when you're factoring. So we're left with x squared minus x minus 12. And then here, you just factor as usual. I need two numbers that multiply to negative 12, add to negative 1. That's negative 4 and 3. So that's 2 times x minus 4 and x plus 3. Now I'm going to set each one of these factors to 0. I'm going to have 2 equals 0, which makes no sense, so I don't have to do that one. I have x minus 4 equals 0, and x plus 3 equals 0. And we're going to solve. Add 4, so I get x is 4. Subtract 3, so I get x is negative 3. So my solution set, negative 3 and 4. All right, let's try another one. Let's do this one. Can I divide by all of these numbers by something? No, so I'm going to go straight to my eye chart. I'm going to do A times C. 3 times negative 30 is negative 90. My B value is negative 13. I'm going to do a 5. 5 times what is negative 90? 18, negative 18. Okay, so 5 times negative 18 is negative 90. If you add them, you'll get negative 13. So we're going to write 3x squared minus 30. These two numbers don't change. But the middle term, I'm going to write it as plus 5x minus 18x. We're going to split this down the middle. Okay, now let's see what we're going to divide. On this side, what can these both be divided by? X. That means x is on the outside. I'm left with 3x plus 5. Now let's do this side. What can they both be divided by? Negative 6. Guys, if this number is negative, we must divide by a negative. So negative 6 will be on the outside. What's negative 18 divided by negative 6? 3. Positive 3. 2 negatives make a positive. Negative 30 divided by negative 6 is 5. So guys, you see how these match? That means we did it correctly. That will go in one parentheses. What is on the outside will go in the other one. So those are your two factors. Set them both equal to 0. All right, so now let's solve it. We're going to set this equal to 0 as well. So add 6, you get x is 6. That's one of your answers. Subtract 5, we get 3x equals negative 5. Then divide by 3. So you get x is negative 5/3. So your solution set is negative 5/3 and 6.